Welcome to Sophie Daddy's channel. Today, we are diving into one of the boldest, most talked about financial moves of the entire year, Michael Burry's massive, all-in bet against the AI stock market frenzy.
So let's just jump right in with the number that's got everyone's attention, $1.1 billion. That's the notional value, basically the total firepower behind his options bet that the legendary investor Michael Burry has wagered against the AI revolution.
But honestly, the billion-dollar bet isn't even the craziest part of the story. The real kicker is what he had to do to make it happen. We're going to break down how the guy from The Big Short just completely blew up his entire strategy, flipping it completely on its head.
All right, so in just one quarter, Burry's fund, Scion Asset Management, more than doubled its reported assets. It shot up from $580 million to almost $1.4 billion. Now, that's not just a good quarter, that's a signal flare, a sign of a massive strategic shift.
And to really get just how huge this pivot is, we have to look at the world he just walked away from. Let's take a look at his portfolio from Q2 2025. This is what he believed in just a few short months ago. So before all this, his strategy was super aggressive, what we'd call risk-on. He was using these leverage call options to bet big on a comeback. A comeback in beaten-down healthcare stocks, consumer brands like Lululemon, and even big tech and Chinese stocks. This was pure optimism. He was betting on a big rebound. And then, he just torched the whole thing. He sold 100% of it. I mean, every single position. This wasn't him just trimming his holdings. This was a total liquidation, a complete demolition of his old thesis. He was clearing the deck for something totally new.
So, after tearing it all down, what did he build in its place? Let's take a look at Burry's new world. A super concentrated portfolio with a completely different and much darker outlook.
His new portfolio is incredibly lean, right? Only 8 positions. And you can immediately see two completely opposite ideas at work. The main event, of course, is that massive bet against AI with those puts on Palantir and Nvidia. But at the same time, he's making some bullish bets on a comeback in places like pharma and energy.
And this chart right here just drives the point home. I mean, look at that concentration. Almost 80% of his entire portfolio is now tied to a single theme, betting that the AI boom is about to slam into a brick wall. This is more than just a trade, it's an all-or-nothing statement.
Now this slide is fascinating because it perfectly shows the change in his mindset. Just look at Lululemon. In Q2, he was playing with fire, using high-risk call options. In Q3, he swapped it for the actual stock. He de-levered. He went from a short-term gamble to a more stable, long-term investment. That's a classic move you make when you're battening down the hatches for a storm.
So, the big question is why, right? Why make such a huge, potentially career-defining bet against the darlings of Wall Street? Well, it's because Burry thinks he's spotted something rotten at the core of the AI story.
And get this, just before the filing dropped, he broke almost 2 years of social media silence to post this message. He wasn't just vaguely warning about a bubble, he was hinting that he'd found a way to actually do something about it.
And here it is. This is the heart of his thesis. He calls it circular financing. The idea goes something like this. An AI giant, let's say Nvidia, invests $100 million into a hot new AI startup. Then, that startup turns around and uses a huge chunk of that very same money to buy chips back from Nvidia. So on the books, Nvidia just made a massive sale. But is it real growth, or is it just a company funding its own sales in an echo chamber? Burry is betting it's the second one.
Now this is the smoking gun, and it's buried in the legal fine print. You see, when Burry shorted Nvidia earlier in the year, the filing had this little disclaimer saying the puts might just be a hedge. But this time, that disclaimer is gone. Poof. Removing that little sentence is a massive signal. This is no longer some cautious hedge. This is a pure, high-conviction, big short.
And make no mistake, this wasn't just some boring filing that nobody read. The second this news hit the wire, it sent shockwaves through the market, with immediate real-world consequences.
Check out this timeline. The filing becomes public Monday night. By Tuesday morning, the stocks he was betting against were getting absolutely hammered. Palantir dropped over 7%, and this was right after the company had reported great earnings and raised their guidance. The market literally ignored the good news and listened to Burry instead. And that led to this, a panicked, pretty emotional reaction from Palantir's CEO, Alex Karp, live on TV. He called Burry's idea batshit crazy. But honestly, by losing his cool like that, He accidentally gave a huge amount of publicity and, frankly, credibility to the exact argument he was trying to shoot down.
So, where does that leave us? Burry has laid out a really compelling case, for sure, but it is far, far from a sure thing. Let's flip the coin over and look at the other side.
The arguments against him are pretty strong too. First, he's famous for being too early. He sees the storm coming, but shows up with an umbrella a year before it actually rains. Second, the bulls argue AI isn't a bubble at all, it's a real revolution, like the internet. And maybe most importantly, this filing is 45 days old. For all we know, he's already sold a position. Plus, let's be real, his recent track record isn't perfect. He screamed sell right before a massive market rally last year.
And so that leaves us with the billion-dollar question the entire market is asking right now. Has Michael Burry found another fatal flaw that everyone else has missed? Or is he about to get completely run over by the single most powerful tech trend of our lifetime?
All right, the learning doesn't have to stop here. If you want to explore even more, I've built the perfect place for you at sophie-ai-finance.com to unlock a new way of learning. Think of it as your personal learning toolkit. If you just want the big picture, you can watch the video or listen to the podcast. It's perfect for getting the main concepts down while you're on the go. But if sometimes you need to hit the pause button and really let an idea sink in, you can visit the blog article. It has all the details, charts, and text from our discussion so you can review everything at your own pace. And for those of you who want to see all the math, data, and the complete nitty-gritty behind the analysis, well, I've got a full research paper waiting for you, so you can really dig into the details and see how everything works under the hood. It's all there, all for you. And hey, if you have any ideas for new topics about finance and AI you'd like me to cover, please leave me a message. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.